Welcome back to the Budget Gamer channel, where we bring you critical and in-depth reviews of just about every indie game we can get our hands on. And today we're going to be taking a look at Blastmaster Zero 2, which was just released kind of as a surprise on the most recent Nintendo Direct. And though it definitely has some unique changes from Blastmaster Zero and is a far cry from the original NES release, Blastmaster Zero 2, even though incorporating some new gameplay styles, is definitely a direct continuation of the story from Blastmaster Zero. And in order to keep from spoiling any of the endings of those previous games, the new game Blastmaster Zero 2 starts off with our same main character, his co-pilot Eve, and the battle tank Sophia. However, as the result of all of the boss battles in the previous games, the battle tank Sophia has definitely seen better days and now can only manage to support one major and one sub-weapon. And additionally, as it turns out, Eve herself suffered some damage from those previous boss battles, and now is actually suffering from some alien mutagen that she'd encountered in the previous games, leaving our heroes to try and scour the universe to try and find a cure. And after this backstory is explained, we finally get to control our characters and realize that even though the battle tank Sophia has definitely taken some damage, one major upgrade is going to pivotally change gameplay. And that is mainly that inertia and kinetic energy can be transformed into energy, so every time you take a major fall, you're actually charging up your batteries. But that definitely isn't the only change in Blastmaster Zero 2. As opposed to the previous gameplay style of exploring one gigantic Metroidvania-style world, Blastmaster Zero 2 has spread its gameplay across 7 different areas throughout the cosmos. And while each area of gameplay linked together by a series of wormholes will definitely have one larger planet supporting most of the storyline missions, smaller planetoids all scattered throughout will also offer a series of challenges as well as a ton of upgrades and maps. And while it's definitely not mandatory to gather every single optional upgrade that the game has to offer, depending on what type of gamer you are and how you engage with combat, generally some of these upgrades may be well beyond value. For me personally, I'm a bit of a damage sponge and definitely take a lot of hits, so while upgrading my cannons for Sophia were definitely cool, finding an upgrade that allowed me to maintain the integrity of my weapon while I was playing in the 3D dungeon crawler mode was definitely really helpful for me. And on that note, and as I'm sure you've seen from the gameplay footage already, if you're not familiar with the Blastmaster series, it offers 2 distinctly different types of gameplay. And that is primarily the 2D side-scrolling arcade style where you're playing in the battle tank Sophia in the overworlds, and the top-down dungeon crawler style gameplay that takes place as you exit your tank and start engaging with the game as the main character. However, as you get into the game, these 2 gameplay styles aren't exactly divided 100% of the time, but many situations in the game will actually require you to jump in and out of your battle tank, not only in general gameplay, but also in boss fights. Area and mid-bosses along the planetoids, and definitely the major storyline bosses in each of the 7 areas, will push you further and further to develop as a player and to get a better and better handle on your skills and abilities. And as fun and as novel as these boss fights are, they definitely are one of the game's negative points. While the smaller area bosses aren't too terribly difficult, but do definitely offer a challenge, certain ones will be repeat encounters throughout the game, but the real issue is with the storyline bosses. And when you encounter your first one, you're definitely going to realize that they offer much more of a challenge and almost act as a gatekeeper to certain types of gamers. If you're not a gamer who is inspired by being defeated over and over, some players might not actually have the fortitude to keep going. And though the game itself and the general gameplay is fun and the story's definitely kind of exciting, running into a boss and feeling like you've just hit an impassable brick wall does kind of take some of the fun out of it. However, as many gamers who are fans of the classic genres or classic style games really do consider themselves to be up for the challenge, I don't see that being too terribly dissuasive, but casual adventure gamers beware. Overall, I'd have to say that Blastmaster Zero 2 is definitely a really fun and enticing game. Its upbeat chiptune music is definitely well suited to its gaming environments, and each of the different planets and planetoids in each of the 7 different areas has its own unique feel. Enemies, areas, and environments are all really unique, and the intricate Metroidvania-like gameplay with its upgrades, its power-ups, and its newly implemented combat countering system really is a lot of fun. So if you are the type of gamer that really does find that daunting boss battle type challenge to just be really fulfilling and enjoyable, Blastmaster Zero 2 might be a game you'd want to check out. And even though it just dropped on the eShop, it does offer over 12 hours of gameplay for about $9.99, and a little spoiler, there are multiple endings. And on that note, that does about wrap up the review of Blastmaster Zero 2 now on the Nintendo Switch. So if you enjoyed the review or found it helpful, feel free to throw me a like or a comment to show your support. And don't forget to click that little bell icon when you subscribe to stay updated with the latest content. There are new and unique indies coming out literally every single day, so there's always going to be something new to find right here. But since I can only cover a couple games a week, if you want a hint at which reviews might be coming out next, you can follow us on Twitter. But anyway, this has been Budget Gamer, so as always, thanks for watching.